Okay, dear students, today we'll discuss the Avogadro law, how the Avogadro come to some conclusion. Avogadro law has been given for the gases. So now we'll discuss the Avogadro. Before going into the details of Avogadro, how does it got developed, that we will discuss. So first of all, we should know what is Dalton's atomic theory. According to the Dalton's atomic theory, atom of different elements combine with each other in a simple whole number ratio by mass. We have already studied in previous class that atom of different elements combines with each other in a simple whole number ratio. It never combines with one another in fraction. Like water is formation takes place when hydrogen and oxygen combines with one another into 1:8 ratio by mass. So 1 and 8 both are whole number. Second thing, another Gay-Lussac law. We should go into the details of Gay-Lussac law. So according to the Gay-Lussac law, gases combines with each other in a simple whole number ratio by their volumes. So for solid, liquid and gases, for everything, for solid and liquid it is given by Dalton's. What it said that atom of the different elements combines with one another to form certain compound, and for that formation they combines with each other in a whole number ratio by mass. Now according to the Gay-Lussac law also, which is applicable to gaseous substance only, it talks about the volume. Dalton talks about the mass. Gay-Lussac talks about the volume. So this Gay-Lussac law is applicable to only gases. So what it says that gaseous particle combines with one another to form certain compound. But it combines with one another, different gases combines with one another in a whole number ratio. In a whole number ratio by volume. Like when the hydrogen oxygen reacts, both are gas. So 2 volume of hydrogen reacts with 1 volume of oxygen and forms a 2 volume of water. So here the reactant which participates are in whole number, product which is produced, that is also in whole number. So they are in whole number ratio. Now the third scientist we have got, that is Berzelius. So Berzelius, what it is, he correlated these two because both appears like a same thing. This one is applicable to the whether it is solid, liquid or gas. As Gay-Lussac law is only applicable to the gaseous only. So Berzelius, what he did, he correlated these two laws. That is Dalton's atomic theory and Gay-Lussac law are correlated. Who correlated this? Mr. Berzelius. And he had given the name Berzelius hypothesis. So according to the Berzelius hypothesis, after the development of the correlation between these two laws, what he said, that equal volume of all gases under similar condition of temperature and pressure contains equal number of atoms. He correlated these two. Here we talks about the mass, here we talks about the volume. Both the cases we have observed that reaction takes place in whole number by mass or by volume. If it is gas, then we will consider it by volume. If it is solid and liquid, we will consider it by their mass. So when these two laws put together correlated with one another, then we got a Berzelius hypothesis. So according to him, what he said, that equal volume of all gases, equal volume of all gases under similar condition of temperature and pressure contains equal number of atoms. If the volume found to be same, if the volume of the gas found to be same, irrespective of the nature, irrespective of the nature and availability, whether it is nitrogen gas, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide or any other gases you can consider. So if you apply this law, then each and every gas, if you have taken the same volume of different gases having different nature, then you will find that there is same number of atom into it. What it has been said by Mr. Berzelius. Now we'll apply this these three hypotheses to the example taken. Now we have taken the example reaction between hydrogen and chlorine, which forms the hydrochloric acid, that is hydrogen chloride. So when you apply the Dalton's and Gay-Lussac law, then what it will say, one volume of hydrogen reacts with one volume of chlorine and produces the two volume. What is the meaning of one volume? We have discussed in the previous lectures. You should understand. 1 mole, this is 1 mole, so it represents one volume. 1 mole means that's a one volume. It represents 2 mole, that's a two volume. Okay. Now the for same take the example of same reactions and apply the Berzelius law. Berzelius had talked about the atom. Now hydrogen chlorine reacts and form the hydrochloric acid or hydrogen chloride, that is the compound. So now we have considered that we have assumed that n atom of hydrogen reacts with C here. Same number, no coefficient, coefficient 1, coefficient 1. So same number will be there. If we have taken the n atom of hydrogen, then definitely it would be a n atom of chlorine. And see the reactions. 1 and 1 forms a 2. So if the n atom is taken, then it will form a 2n compound atom. Why it is compound atom? Because different kind of atom are combined together. That's why it is called compound atom. And this, we consider it atom. Both atom combines with one another to form the 2n compound of atom. Now, if you take the one atom, then it will be one atom. So one atom reacts with one atom, then it forms the two compound atom according to this reaction. Now if you take the half atom of hydrogen and half atom of chlorine, then it will form one compound atom. 1, 2 and 2n. 1, 2. So half 1. So half atom gives you the one compound atom. So now you see here, one compound atom of hydrochloric acid contains half atom of hydrogen and half atom of chlorine. So here half atom, that means according to this hypothesis atoms are divisible. That means during the formation of hydrochloric acid from hydrogen and chlorine gas, there is a division of atoms. But according to the Dalton's theory, atom cannot be subdivided. Atom cannot be divided. We know that according to Dalton. Dalton what it said, that the atom is the ultimate particle which take part in the chemical reaction and that cannot be divided. But when we apply the Berzelius hypothesis, for the formation of hydrochloric acid, we found that one molecule of hydrochloric acid formed when half atom of hydrogen and half atom of chlorine combines together. So according to this, atoms are divisible. According to Dalton's law, atoms are not divisible. So this is against the Dalton's atomic theory. So that means Berzelius is not, so it is against the Dalton's theory. So Berzelius hypothesis is against the Dalton's theory. It is not in agreement with the Dalton's atomic theory. Then another scientist came, whose name is Avogadro, who has given a theory which is known as Avogadro's hypothesis. What he did, Avogadro just improved the Berzelius hypothesis. Avogadro have improved the Berzelius hypothesis. To have improvement, he had given two definitions. In case of Dalton or in Gay-Lussac or in Berzelius, they have not differentiated between atom and molecules. Earlier we have studied the three laws: Dalton's atomic theory, Gay-Lussac law, Berzelius hypothesis. In these hypotheses, There is no difference between atoms and molecules. Both are considered same because that is the ultimate particle which take part in chemical reaction. That is the atom which have got the existence. Atom was considered to be the ultimate particle which have the independent existence according to these three scientists. Now, Avogadro, what he did, he had differentiated uh, between the atoms and molecules. What he said that atoms and molecules are different. Atom and molecules are different. How does it different? What it said, same thing had been said, the smallest particle of the element, or smallest particle of the element that take part in chemical reaction are called atom. The smallest particle of the atom that take part in chemical reactions are known as atom. The first thing what has been said by Avogadro, and same thing was said by Dalton also. Now the second thing what he said, there is another smallest particle, a smallest particle which has got independent existence in nature are called molecules. So atom may or may not have independent existence in this nature which participates in chemical reactions. Atom participates in chemical reaction, but there is no guarantee that it will have an independent existence in this nature. So he named it this atom. Now the another one, the smallest particle that has certainly independent existence in this nature are called molecules. So Avogadro have differentiated the atom and molecules. What he said that atom and molecules are two different things. Molecule have independent existence in this universe. Atom may or may not have independent existence. He differentiated it. And then he said, then he modified the Berzelius hypothesis. What he said? Avogadro, equal volume of all gases under similar condition of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules, not the atom. Equal number of molecules, not the atom. So before coming to this hypothesis, Avogadro, what he said, that since molecule only has got the independent existence, so volume are associated with those things which have existence in this universe. Atom have no independent existence in this universe, so it cannot have any volume. Molecule have got independent existence in this universe, that's why molecule has got the independent existence, so volume is associated with molecule, not with the atom. Berzelius said that atom has got existence. Volume is associated with atoms, but atom have no independent existence. It always available in combined form. So he differentiated, Avogadro differentiated the atom and molecule and said, since atom has no independent existence in this universe, it cannot exist in this universe independently. It always exists in a combined form. Atom always exists in combined form, not in an independent form. But molecule exists in an independent form. It exists independently. So, Avogadro said that volume must be related with molecules, not with the atoms. So that is why he had given the law. Instead of considering atoms, he had related with the molecules, and he said that equal volume of all gases under similar condition of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. Now we apply this and find out whether this Avogadro hypothesis is against the Dalton's atomic theory or not. So we have already proved that Berzelius hypothesis is against the Dalton's atomic theory, because when we apply the Berzelius theorem, we get a division of atom during the formation of hydrochloric acid, which is not possible according to the Dalton's theory, because Dalton say that atoms are not divisible. Atom cannot be divided further. So it is again the Dalton's atomic theory. Now we'll take at the look at the Avogadro effect. We'll apply this same Avogadro hypothesis to here, and we'll find what happens. So now we'll take same example is taken. Now we'll apply the here. Now we'll apply this Avogadro according to Avogadro hypothesis. Same reactions. So Avogadro, according to Avogadro hypothesis, it has got one volume. It has got one volume. It has got what? These are the molecules, hydrogen molecules, chlorine molecule, and hydrochloric acid molecule. So one molecule, one volume, one molecule, one volume, two molecule, two volume. Because volume is associated with molecules, not with the atoms, according to Avogadro. Now same thing we will be applying here. So now this one we consider that this one has got a, instead of writing atoms we will write the molecule, n molecule. So we will take, assume that n molecule reacts with n molecule, because one molecule reacts with one molecule, so n molecule would react with n. One molecule reacts one molecule to forms two molecules, so n molecule reacts with n molecule, it will form 2n compound molecule. So now take the common. So n is taken common. So now it will become, instead of I can write the molecule here. So one molecule would react with one molecule and forms two compound molecule. Now you take the half molecule. So half molecule would react with half molecule and will form one compound molecule. Now according to Avogadro, finally one compound molecule is formed when half molecule of hydrogen and half molecule of chlorine combines. So now we see molecule, because molecule can always contain more than one atom. Molecule always contain more than one molecule. So molecule can be divided into atoms, into more than one atoms. Since molecule contain more than one atoms, because molecule is a combination of atoms. So when molecule and molecule reacts, so molecule will be divided into atom. So which is possible. Molecule can be divided. Molecule can be divided. So half molecule is possible. Half molecule is possible. Why? Because it may have one molecule. It may have one molecule, and one molecule. Suppose that one molecule has got two atoms, then it can be subdivided into two atoms. One molecule have two atoms, then it can be divided into two atoms. So molecule can be divided into atom. Molecule can be divided into atom, which is possible, practically possible. Not only theoretically, but even the practically it is possible that molecule can be divided into atom. And it's a reality, molecule never reacts with one another. First of all, molecule undergoes dissociation to get converted into atom, and then atom interacts with one another. So whenever the reaction process starts, then molecule first gets split up into atom, and then atom interacts and forms a molecule, compound molecule. So Even the simple molecule is made up of more than one atom. So that's why the simple molecule also can be divided, subdivided into its atom. So this is in agreement with the Dalton's law. Because molecule can be subdivided. Molecules can be subdivided. So that means Avogadro is not. Avogadro is not against the Dalton's atomic theory. So Avogadro is not against the Dalton's atomic theory. So this is the Avogadro's hypothesis that equal volume of all gases under similar condition of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules but not the atoms. Equal number of molecules. And with this example we have concluded that this is in agreement with the Dalton's atomic theory. It is not against the Dalton's atomic theory, because all the chemical laws whatever available in chemistry is still in agreement with the Dalton's atomic theory, except the first assumption that Dalton said that atoms cannot be subdivided. That is found to be wrong, because nowadays we got the sophisticated instruments with which we are able to establish that atoms can be subdivided into electron, proton and neutron. Apart from all the other assumptions given by hypothesis given by Daltons are found to be correct even today, and it is in agreement with all the laws available in the chemistry. And even we have now proved that even the Avogadro law is in agreement with the Dalton's atomic theory, because molecule can be divided into smaller fragment called atom, whereas atom cannot be. Atoms are not divisible during the chemical reaction. Atoms are not divisible during the chemical reaction. But earlier when we have applied Berzelius, we found that atoms are divisible during the chemical reaction. But it is reality, atoms are not divisible during the chemical reaction. If we want to divide atoms, we have to carry out certain other process. It is not the chemical reaction. During the chemical reaction, molecules are subdivided, not the atoms. So Avogadro hypothesis is in agreement with the Dalton's atomic theory, whereas Berzelius hypothesis is against the Dalton's atomic theory. So now we follow Avogadro's hypothesis, not the Berzelius hypothesis. So hence further we will be studying Avogadro's hypothesis, we will be applying Avogadro's hypothesis in chemistry, but not the Berzelius hypothesis. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. We will meet you again next video. Thank you.